Hello everyone, welcome to Veranda IAS. In this series of Indian Polity Foundation course, we are back with a new lecture, that is the schedules of Indian Constitution. Very important topic for both prelims and mains. Specifically in your prelims exams, you get questions from the schedules. So at the end of this lecture, I'll give you a small trick to remember all the 12 schedules as well. In our previous lecture, we studied about the salient features of Indian Constitution. We saw that Indian Constitution is the lengthiest and the bulkiest book. It has number of articles, parts and schedules. So today we will look into schedules. There is a question in my mind. When I read this topic, there was a question in my mind for the first time that why do we actually need schedules? We already have articles, we have all the detailing in them, then why schedules? And what are schedules first of all? Schedules are nothing but tables, descriptive tables. We have nearly at present 450 plus articles in Indian Constitution, and it was not possible for our constitution makers to include each and every single minute detail in the articles. You all know that our constitution makers, the Constituent Assembly was full of legal luminaries. They all were advocates, judges, they all were masters of law. So basically, they thought to make it easy and less complicated, they included schedules and parts to Indian Constitution. Schedules are those tables which have the extra information which is not there in the article. So basically, for example, let me explain you. In Article 346, 347, we talk about official languages. Article 346-47 of Indian Constitution talks about official languages. But there are 22 official languages in Indian Constitution. We all don't know that what all languages are those by reading these articles. Where will we get this information? In the 8th schedule. In the 8th schedule, we have a list of 22 official languages. So that is why schedules were included. One by one, we will look into all the schedules of Constitution. There are 12 schedules in number. So today's objective is to summarize about the schedules involved in Indian Constitution. Let us begin. First schedule, very first schedule, deals with the name of the state and their territorial jurisdiction. Second, names of union territories and their extent. So all the names of Indian states and union territories are collected in Schedule 1. The first schedule, the first list has the name of the states and UTs. In Schedule 2, we have provisions relating to emoluments, allowances, privileges and so on of whom. Remember these names, whatever points I am telling you, because this is direct question for prelims. Every year we get some or other question from schedules or parts. So Schedule 2 has emoluments, allowances and privileges of President of India, governors of states, Speaker and Deputy Speaker of Lok Sabha, the Chairman and Deputy Chairman of Legislative Council in the state, the judges of Supreme Court and the High Court. You will get question, for example, whose all salaries are discussed in Schedule 2. One is President, second is Prime Minister, third is Governor, and you have to choose, like choose A, B or C, B or C, likewise. This is the pattern of questions of UPSC prelims. So you have to remember this fact that whose all salaries are discussed in second schedule. Next, we will move ahead. Third schedule has forms of oaths and affirmations. For whose oaths and affirmations are there? Union ministers, candidate for election to the parliament, members of parliament, judges of Supreme Court, Comptroller and Auditor General of India, the state ministers, the candidates for elections to state legislature, the members of state legislature, the judges of High Court. Please remember these names as well. Union Minister, members of Parliament, candidates for election to Parliament as well. Remember, very important. Candidates for election to Parliament also are there in third schedule. the judges of Supreme Court, Comptroller, Auditor General, state ministers, candidate for elections to state legislatures as well, because this is the point which we can forget. The members of state legislature and the judges of High Court. These all are included in third schedule. Fourth is, Schedule 4th deals with allocation of seats in Rajya Sabha, the upper house of Indian Parliament. How the seats are allocated in Rajya Sabha to various states and union territories is listed in 4th schedule. 5th schedule contains details about administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. So all the details of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes are there in 5th schedule. Remember this thing, 5th and 6th schedules are very important. And the 6th schedule deals with the provisions relating to administration of tribal areas in the states of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram and Tripura. Remember this as well, very important. These two schedules are very important. 5th one deals with scheduled areas and 6th one deals with specific scheduled areas. Remember these names by AMTM, short mnemonic which I use: Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, Mizoram. First M with E and second M with I. AMTM. Okay. Next, Schedule 7th and Schedule 8th. Schedule 7th deals with division of powers between unions and states. Very, very important. This is also. Why? Because it has 3 lists in it: the union list, the state list and the concurrent list. We have 3 lists as per the government structure. The government powers are divided in our country. The union list deals with the matters of the central government. It means only the center can make laws on union list. On state list, only the states can make laws, and on concurrent list, both center and state can make laws. Apart from this, we also have some residuary powers that we will discuss in center-state relations. And then comes the 8th schedule. The 8th schedule deals with languages recognized by Constitution. I already told you at the starting of this lecture that 8th schedule has all the official languages list. There are 22 official languages in India recognized by Indian Constitution, 22 in number. Next, Schedule 9th. It deals with acts and regulations of the state legislature dealing with land reforms and abolition of Jamindari system. This schedule was added by the very first Constitutional Amendment Act. Very first Constitutional Amendment Act of 1951. We have nearly 200 plus laws which are prevented from judicial review. These laws cannot be challenged in any court of law in India. 9th schedule has a list of laws that are prevented from judicial review. Then we have 10th schedule. 10th schedule contains provisions relating to the disqualifications of members of parliament as well as the state legislatures on the grounds of defection. And this schedule, 10th schedule, is also very important, known as Anti-Defection law. Very popular daily in newspapers. You can see that the MLAs or MPs are switching parties and are having no political agenda or philosophy. So this schedule prevents them from doing this. This schedule will not let them switch party unless and until they actually do not want to, need to. So basically, disqualification of members of parliament, also state legislatures, is included in this. Prelims point of view question, very important. Remember, the members of state legislature are also included in 10th schedule. In 11th schedule, we have the powers, authority and responsibilities of panchayats. This schedule was added by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992. Rural local self-government. It was introduced in 1992 by 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, and 11th schedule was added to Indian Constitution. 12th schedule is similarly like 11th, but it deals with municipalities. The 12th schedule specifies the powers, authority and responsibilities of municipalities. It was added by 74th Constitutional Amendment Act 1992, and this schedule deals with urban local self-government. So in India we have 3-tier government. Rural local self-government, that is Panchayati Raj institutions, are dealt with 11th schedule, and urban local self-government, that is municipalities, municipal corporations, are dealt with 12th schedule. Okay, so let me give you a small trick to remember all these schedules. Tiers of old PM. Remember this mnemonic. This will make your work easier. If you have some better mnemonic, remember that. This is what worked for me. T stands for territories, E for emoluments, A for affirmations, oaths and affirmations we talked about, R for Rajya Sabha, S for scheduled areas, tribal areas. O basically is you have to remember some of the scheduled areas, special areas from scheduled areas. Scheduled areas of Assam, Meghalaya, Mizoram, Tripura. F deals with federal structure of Indian Constitution. That is, we have 3 lists in this schedule. Then official languages, land reforms, anti-defection, panchayats and municipalities. This way you can remember all the important schedules by this mnemonic. So this was all for this lecture, where we saw about the schedules of Indian Constitution. We discussed each and every schedules. I gave you a mnemonic. If comfortable, remember it, else make your own. In our next lecture, we will see about the parts of Indian Constitution. This was all for today. Thank you so much. Stay tuned. Keep studying.